Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest Zen with me, Shell Marie, the podcast that takes you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion while finding your peace. Today, I am so excited to welcome a truly creative and inspiring guest, Veronica Chordas, the founder and creative director of Wonderlust Studios. Veronica's path is nothing short of inspiring. As a lifelong artist at heart, she boldly redefined her life at the age of 47, stepping fully into her own vision after decades of experience in music, teaching, life coaching, marketing, design, and much, much more, I'm sure. She's someone who's explored many different roles and brought them all together in a way that feels both purposeful and powerful. Now, through Wonderlust Studios, she helps creatives and mission-driven individuals, from artists to coaches to wellness professionals, build brands and truly reflect who they are, the core essence of who they are. Her approach combines creativity, strategy, and heart, helping others share their message with clarity and confidence. This is key, very, very key. Veronica's story is a reminder that it's never too late to start fresh. Follow your instincts and build something meaningful from the inside out. She brings not only just her creative skills, but her wisdom, her empathy, and a unique lens to everything she touches. It is a great honor to welcome you, Veronica. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Shell. It's great to be here.
Beautiful. So straight away, first of all, you look absolutely incredible, and I'm really happy that you just so openly shared your age, because I feel like there's a big stigma, isn't there, around like particularly women and saying our age, but from what I can see from your story, regardless of the age, regardless of actually how you look, even though you look amazing, by the way, it's the fact that we should see this. Age does not define our success, our impact, our power. And that's why I really love your story. And it's not just, again, I know I always repeat these things, but I mean it. It's not a story, everybody. It's her life, okay? And I would just love you to dive into a little bit more of what was it, not to just focus on the number, but at 47, that made you think, I'm redefining this, I'm reinventing this. Now this is something that I really feel. Where did that fuel come from, or that passion, or whatever it was? Where did that come from to generate your beautiful creation?
Well, quite honestly, it came from being a serial entrepreneur. I started off as a musician. My degrees are actually in music performance and music history and literature. And after years of attempting auditions, and then also it took me 10 years to apply all over North America for even landing an adjunct professor position. So it's highly competitive. And along the way, I became certified in yoga and Reiki. And I also was doing meditation workshops and chakra workshops, and became a life coach. So I'm all along trying to become a college professor, which I thought was my path, and had this great spiritual journey alongside of it. I began dabbling more and more into marketing and design. I was working for an industrial company doing their marketing, and that's where I learned website design. So at the age of 47, it's about when it was, I left all those other jobs and started Wonderlust. So that was 5 years ago now, in 2020. And I was also nomadic at the time. So I was doing freelance work, building Wonderlust, just me, and traveling Mexico during the famous lockdown times.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was great. Like it was a great way to spend that time, and it was actually a little bit serendipitous in that most people were not most people, but a lot of people were choosing to start their own businesses at that time. So it helped me kind of get off the ground as well. So we are now evolving from me being a freelancer to full service agency.
Wow, amazing, incredible. That's really, really amazing. And just, I'm a very visual person when people share their incredible stories behind what they're sharing. And I just had this beautiful image of like, obviously, it was not as beautiful as we all know when it was all happening, but just the name, particularly of what you created, Wonderlust. Like, there's everyone kind of, locked in, and you are just well and truly like, I'm not at all like summarizing this. This is like, please correct me, but I just have this vision of like, you're kind of like, whether you knew it or not, like, I'm doing me, and I just feel this like really empowering, like, yeah, just seeing you like just in your element in that time, like wandering and just lost and being like, okay, let's do this, let's do this. Of course, nothing is ever linear like that and straightforward, but it just gives me this really like beautiful vision of you. I just imagine like, yeah, especially like as a musician, and just could just see you really like embracing it, creativity in your element with creativity. So yeah, so with that in mind,
yeah. So the name, if you don't,
yes,
don't
no, please. I get distracted so easily, and please, yeah, I really wanted you to.
It's not, you're not too far off. So I've along with being a musician, I've always been an artist and graphic design and all that kind of stuff too. And I've always wanted to travel. Travel is something that just has been tugging at me for as long as I can remember. And actually having the opportunity to do it and live on the road for 5 years was incredible.
Wow.
So it's a little play on that word wanderlust, which is that, desire to travel. But I also love the idea of approaching everything with awe and wonder, and that childlike view of the world, because I think that keeps things fresh and creative. So that's where I came up with that Wonderlust word. And it's interesting because there are other Wonderlust companies out there. One is a furniture company, I believe, furniture design. Another one is a video studio or something that's in Canada. And so it's interesting. I'm not the only one to kind of make up that word.
What a contrast though, like, from furniture to then your story. It's just, I just find it so fascinating, because this is the thing, is there's much more to it than just a name. So I don't know, I just find these things really fascinating. So thinking now about our audiences and connecting to the description and feeling like it's something that they're really obviously passionate about and interested in, what would you tell someone right now who needs to really trust in themselves and get that, like what you say, that childlike wonder, that lust, that real, instead of like, because I think often, particularly when we're starting a business or things like that, there's this kind of like very seriousness to it, like that everything has to be perfect, everything has to be done, everything has to be, all your ducks in a row. So I would really love your perspective on that.
First of all, we are far more creative and inventive when we're having fun. Yeah. So if you love what you do and you're having fun doing it, then that is going to be something that will motivate you to get all the ducks in a row. Because there's parts of businesses that resonate with some people, and when you're an entrepreneur, you're wearing all the hats. So while you might be creative, you might be not so great on the financial end, and vice versa, So if you're having fun and loving what you do, then those other things that you have to do become a little easier.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that. And going back to the name of your company and what you created, and it almost like representing the story behind it. How could you just to be playful? How could you like creatively give advice to somebody? Like, I'm just thinking about all your background of like how to, because I think sometimes picking the name, because I know mine changed a lot. And I think also like if I just think about back to me, it's I actually didn't have any idea what direction I was heading in. I didn't know what I was doing. All I just knew is what I was focusing on and the impact I wanted to create. So I think sometimes when we're at that initial stage where we are a little bit like, we don't have that clarity all the time. What advice would you give for like just tapping into that playfulness and maybe like how did you generate your title basically?
So it is a creative process, right? In naming your business, but there's also a little bit of logic to it as well. So it's very important to understand your vision and your values.
Yeah.
And from there, you can start to work at your overall brand, not just the name of the business.
Yes.
Often when somebody is just starting off and they're brand new entrepreneur, I tell them to just kind of hold off. Don't make any huge investments in anything like working with somebody like me. Get your feet wet, get some of your clients going, get generating some revenue, and then you'll have more of a clear vision as far as what your brand and what your values are. We all pivot in that first year to 2 years. When I first started off, I was actually looking at servicing nonprofits, and my first business like this was called Wonderlust Studios. And it was with my family, and we were doing organizational development for nonprofits as well as creating websites for them. And when I decided to support people that are like me, meaning creative, spiritual, doing meaningful work in the world, that's when I created Wonderlust. So while it's still the same type of business, I definitely pivoted and niched down into who I wanted to serve. And that became the guiding light for how I created everything after that. So it's really important to have clarity, not only on what you're going to do for people, but also who are the people that you're doing it for, and how you talk to them, how you market to them. All of that is influences the brand.
Absolutely, that's so important. And to go back to your point that you made earlier, I think particularly as a creative, and I actually believe all of us have the creativity in us. I think the definition of creativity is beautiful. I think it's the definition of creativity. It's again going back to all those labels of this is this and this is this. And actually in all areas of our lives, even in someone like something happening in your house and like finding a solution, I feel like creativity is finding a solution. That's just the way I see it often, whether it looks fun or it doesn't look fun, whether it looks colorful and it doesn't look colorful. There's something about finding a solution, not an end result, but just something. It might be temporary, it might be permanent. So just to go back to what you said about that it started as this and then it changed to this. I think this is really important. This is so important because I think often the things, particularly when we're starting a business, and essentially it's kind of all on us, and that's really important to remember here. It's all on us in the sense of like everything is on us. No one actually told you that you had to keep that logo. No one told you had to keep that that name or that description or that bio. And I think this is super important because going back to like what you said, quote me if I said it wrong, but what I heard was kind of like in that process, actually don't feel like you have to make these big decisions, because enjoy the process. And even if you have like felt like, no, I have clarity, I have certainty, this is this, still be kind to yourself and be like, okay, I'm actually thinking very differently now. Whether that maybe cost you some money or it didn't cost you money, I actually feel like it's so important, like what you said, it's not just what you're doing, it's what it represents. And it's essentially representing you. So if there's something you've kind of infused into the world and then you're kind of like, oh, actually, I don't really want to be associated with that now. Actually, I have gone on a bit more on my journey because we're always evolving, and now this doesn't actually feel as in alignment with me. I think it's so important to be able to recognize that and I always sometimes release with love, let it go,
Yeah.
and give yourself like, yeah, the permission to reinvent yourself, or have another go, or find another creative approach. So I hope I heard that correctly. That's what I personally heard from your sharing.
Yes, I think it's important to be flexible as an entrepreneur. We tend to think like, oh, well, I've put this out there, I can't change it now. Yeah, you can. You can always change it.
Beautiful.
And it's like, I've worked with several rebrand clients, and it's a scary thing to rebrand, because you feel like, oh, people know me as this, and if I rebrand, then they're not going to know me anymore. But if you do it properly and, make announcements and that kind of thing, people will follow you right along. And most times they'll say, oh, this new brand fits you so much better,
it's so funny.
Yeah.
You said, literally just as you were saying that, it's like, I always feel like, again, it goes back to like, this is something we place on ourselves. We do it and then we're like, oh, everyone already saw that for you. Everyone already knew that for you.
Yes.
You were finding the way. And so that's what I literally heard. And it's almost like this joke on you, isn't it? Of like, everyone was like, oh, well, I kind of always saw you doing that anyway. You've been doing it anyway. And it's just like,
right.
Interesting. Do you know, you could have all told me a little bit. You could have helped with the process a little bit, but we wouldn't have listened, because that's the whole beauty of it. The unfolding is the process, not the journey, not the destination. And even now, even with you and all you're doing, I'm sure you're still continuously on that process, that unfolding, that beautiful discovery. So I love it.
Right. It's a constant evolution. And like I said, I'm saying we now instead of me, because it's not just me anymore. I have a small team. So it's evolving into that agency, while I'm still the face of the company and I still talk to all the clients personally, because I really believe in that.
Yes.
It's other people helping me with the work now. So
that's so beautiful. And I think that even the change in that word says a lot about how you see yourself, your growth, and actually to celebrate that win, because there's a very different, and even if other people don't notice this, there's a very big difference from going from like me to we. And essentially that is going to happen, everybody. Of course, like, as much as possible, it's important for us to really be infusing our visions and our connections, and making sure, like a pyramid effect, that it's really going the way that represents us. But there is that almost that release of your baby that you've birthed, and be like, okay, I trust you, because I know we're a team now and you're aligned with my vision. And it's like letting go of the reins a little bit, which again is quite hard to do.
It is. Yeah, there's a thing called founder syndrome, right? Where it's very difficult to trust other people, especially when it's a craft or something that is creative, where, I feel like people are hiring me because of how I do things. But now that I have help, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm creative director now. So it's still my ideas and still my direction, even though I might not actually be the one holding the pencil.
Wow. Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah. And I don't know why, I just feel like there's a lot of people now like, oh yeah, I'm at that point now. Okay. It's so with that in mind, I just think actually while we have you and you are, I would like to say, you just said I went from me to we. What little step could someone take today? Just a little tiny step. Like we're not asking for big, massive movements. What little step could they take today to essentially let a little bit go of the trust and believe that, you know, these people are here because they're following your vision and they've entered your life, I like to say, for a reason.
So I'm going to ask you to repeat that question because you froze for a little bit. And I don't know if
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I was just going to say, thank you so much, by the way. With that in mind, what little step could people take today to just, and we're not asking for a big thing, but what little step could they take today just to let go a little bit of the reins and just trust that these people that are now in their business, that have entered their life, that they have connected with for a reason, are aligned with their vision, are following through on basically what they're infusing into the world? What could they do? What advice would you give?
So if they already have a team, there is something that is called the value statements. And that's important in making sure that everybody on your team adheres to those value statements. And you see lots of corporations will actually put them on on their website, like in the footer or something like that. I think IKEA has theirs in the footer. And that's something that every hire needs to adopt those values. And that's where it starts. So if they believe in your mission and your value statements, then you know that they are on the same page with you. And then everything else is training, right?
Yeah.
So as long as they're operating from the same value system that you have, then anything beyond that, you can teach them.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, that's so true. And another thing that I like to ask my beautiful guests is, if there was something right now in your mind that just comes to your mind that you feel like someone right now listening would really, really benefit from or need to hear, what would you tell them?
That's a big question. What would I tell them? Keep going. Keep going. It's really easy to, and I've done it repeatedly, like I said earlier on the call, that I'm a serial entrepreneur. So what happens is when you start something and you're not seeing the results that you wanted as fast as you wanted, then you go back to that other job, or whatever it was that you were feeling more comfortable in. So it's the discomfort is part of it, and just keep going, just push through that, and I promise you there will be rewards on the other side.
Wow, I just know, like, thinking back to my own experience, that is such a powerful thing to say, and not easy to adopt, by the way. Like,
no, it's not.
But, yeah, thank you, Veronica. But I also, which is funny how it's come round like this, because this was something I actually wanted to talk to you about earlier, and it slipped my mind, because I really believe in just being present and focused and not having questions lined up, but having, as you speak, thinking of things to ask you. And it obviously left, and now it's come back because I'm clearly supposed to ask you it. And basically what it is that what I have come to realize, and I would love your take on it, is usually, not always, but you kind of feel like you find your flow and you're going along, and then you're like, okay. And then you feel that kind of yes, like, okay, I've got this, right? You're focused. Mm-hmm. But then I find, and it's not always like this, but most of the time, but I find just before a big pivotal point or a real breakthrough or transformation, and this is just not about business, this is actually generally in life, like even in a relationship, wanting to focus now, say, on finding someone to marry, I feel like you will be shaken. Something or someone or things will come in to really make you feel like that you are making, like, there's nothing, you're not going to get to where you need to get to. This is all showing you evidence that this is not working. Like, I feel like stuff comes in as a massive distraction to say, do you really want it? Do you really, really
Yes.
want it? So I would love your take on that, and if there's anything that you could, like, because I think it's through the power of storytelling, I feel like that's really the key. So if there's anything that just comes to your mind right now that you feel like maybe someone would benefit from hearing.
Yes, so what you're saying is absolutely true. And I have always viewed that as the universe testing your resolve. And if you keep your vision, like, that's why the vision is so important. Not just for a business, but even for your life. Like, where do you want to be? How much money do you want to be making? Where do you want to live? All of those things. And just like me with wanting to travel, I had that vision and then making it happen. So, but of course, like, all these obstacles come along that you have to get over. And I really do think that it is that question of, like, are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Okay, here's another obstacle. And then it happens, and that's not just in business, but in life. Like, that's the life journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I also think we also really, 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 really need to know, because, like, we might be like, oh yeah, I remember that podcast. I remember that episode. This is what's happening right now. It will be more than one sometimes. Trust me. It will feel like a little bit like elastic band. Like oh, okay, all right. No, we're going back further. Okay, bing. But just really. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say, sometimes it's hard to tell because, especially people that are intuitive, it's hard to tell, like, is this a test of my resolve, or is this a sign that I'm not on the right path? And that's sometimes where people get caught up, So again, all you have to do is just return to your vision, make sure that you're on the path that you want to be on. And those are the mistakes that I made in the past. When these obstacles would come in, I'd be like, oh, this isn't right. And then I'd go running back to safety.
Wow. Sorry, carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the hard part, is knowing when it's a test and when it's something that isn't working.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And also, I just want to add to that, and I feel like you will be like, so I literally just had another episode with someone, and it just came to my mind now, because I think it's always really important to discuss both ends, because now, we're kind of like, oh, okay, something maybe is going to come in that's a bit chaotic, a bit like this. Oh, something shiny will come in as well. Something like, ooh.
Oh yeah, ooh. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you're running off in that direction. You're like, I like that. Oh. And the reason why I say this is because this is what happened to me.
That'll happen too. Yes. Yeah. It'll be like oh, that might be easier, or not even necessarily easier, but it seems more interesting, and it is shiny object syndrome, I think. Yes. Is that a thing?
We're owning it now. It definitely is, because we both experienced, and I'm sure other people listening are experiencing it. And it definitely, like, there's particularly like, you feel like you need to be more prepared, more ready, more courses, more events. I know I need to do this another 10 times. No. Stay focused, keep going, and have fun, enjoy. Yes. Even when mayhem comes, or you see that kind of shiny distraction, just be like, I see you. So yeah, you have been absolutely, you've just got such a beautiful, calming presence, but like, so much, like, really genuine creativity, wisdom, knowledge, and I know that people listening to this are really, really going to benefit from this. So as this is your moment, your time to share anything else that you feel like would really benefit the listeners, I would just love to give this over to you and just ask you if there's anything else you would love to share. Thank you for your time.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. A
Beautiful.
lot of my clients are, I work with spiritual and creative entrepreneurs. So a lot of them are not in the norm. They're a little bit
Mm.
different. And that can, in of itself, can be your differentiator. So if you're a little weird or woo, don't be afraid to show it. Because there are a lot of us out there and we'll be attracted to you.
That's so powerful
So,
and so true. And I think also to really strip this away from like, because I feel like sometimes, and I'd love your perspective on this, I feel like there's almost like this spiritual, non-spiritual, okay? Like they're two groups or something, like you're either this one or you're this one. And I feel like actually we're just us, we're just me, okay? Right?
yeah. Mhm.
Like regardless of whether we want to have our lovely crystals in our house, or we want to write our affirmations, or we want to whatever, listen to certain music, know about frequencies, it's just another person on another journey doing it their way. Who said
Mhm.
that this is the direction, this is how you're supposed to be? Like, I think we really just need to strip apart this, and whether you believe in what that person is saying or not, just actually see them as the beautiful person they are. That's what they believe. No one is preaching, no one is telling you that that is now what you have to do. Just
Exactly.
acceptance. Like, we're
Yeah.
all different. How boring would it be if everybody was exactly the same? So, yeah,
Exactly.
thank
I
you for
I
that.
I kind of imagine each of us being mirrors of the universe. So each of us are experiencing things in a different way, and it's for the whole.
Mm.
And it's so the whole can reflect on itself in every possible way. And it's really difficult to put into words,
No,
but that's just kind of the sense that I have.
I absolutely like I said, I don't know why, but I have this like I basically, as you're saying that, I see this beautiful like puzzle. And
Hmm.
it's like actually in order for this person, and correct me if I'm not hearing this correctly, but in order for this person to get the key, the gem, to unlock something that they need, or something they, need to work through, this lovely shiny person comes along. And then it's like, whether it triggers them or it's like, they're pure in ecstasy and love with them and don't know why. There's something in every connection, every communication that is like a mirror for the other, whether we're going to be together forever, a season, or whatever all these wordings are. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be like, now, oh, this is the season, or this person. Let's just strip this back. This is just us right now in life. Okay, this person came in and this person left. Okay, what did that person teach you? Okay, now this is happening. Why is that happening? I think there's so much more beauty in being just present and just seeing, not trying to associate with and kind of label or become something else. Just be you, like what you said. And of course there's going to be people that come in and you resonate with them more. You feel like, okay, this is more somebody I feel like I can have this conversation with. But I think also often there's people that, I'm not spiritual, but they're having very spiritual conversations. But does that mean now we have to like preach that to them and like, you are definitely, it doesn't matter. It does
Nope,
not
it
matter.
doesn't.
So I love, thank you. You brought up so many really, really, I feel, important things to discuss, which essentially just goes back to ourselves. Who are you? What is it that when you look at that other person, you don't know why, but you just feel something? Be,
Even if it's disdain.
yeah, be like a
and
child, like
and
say, childlike wonder.
yeah.
Be
Hmm.
inquisitive. Investigate it. You never know. There might just be something in it that just brings you, and that's why I have this like zest, this energy that brings you that peace. You don't know what it is. You don't have to put your finger on it. You don't have to write things 365 times to make it happen. Just be you. If you want to dance, go and dance. You want to
Hmm.
create, go and create. Just go back to yourself. And this was a really powerful thing that someone mentioned yesterday. You are the engineer of your life. Go
Hmm.
create it. Go creative.
Yep.
So thank you, Veronica. It's been an absolute blessing. Um, and yeah, as I said, if you've got anything coming up soon that you think people would benefit from, like feel free to use this time now to say how people can connect with you. I'll put everything in the notes anyway, but
Yeah. So my website is up on my
yes, I can
video there.
see.
Actually,
Beautiful.
it's
And it will be
Wonderlust
on
dot.
show as well. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
It's Wonderlust.love, or you can
beautiful.
email me directly at Veronica@Wonderlust.love. And we are actually in celebration of our new incorporation and our growing team. We are actually knocking off prices for branding this summer, branding and website design for this summer. So
Amazing. She is your woman, guys. So get on and go onto this beautiful website. And I just love all the words that you have. Wanderlust love. I just think for me, it just brings so much like, well, love, essentially.
yeah,
And even speaking with you, it's been an absolute blessing. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome.